Today we are going to look at our last tutorial series, and we are going to tackle the get method, the jQuery Ajax get method. So this is basically a HTML form which allows users to search for index of data and it outputs to them. So if we search for 001 as we have been instructed, it redirects to us and it outputs to us some data. Now we don't want to be redirected to another page. We want to see this data down here when we load. So let's refresh. Okay, let's go back to our code. This is basically a form. Instead of using the post method, you're using the get method. You can see the difference. So let's start coding. I've already written the ready function. So we'll start by disabling the redirect capability of the form by creating. Sorry about that. And then my keys are disturbing. Dot submit. Then function. Write a function. You say return false. If you watch my last tutorial on post method, you should be able to understand this. Now we want to do some check. What should we do when click the submit method, which has an ID of submit button. Click dot click. Okay. Function. Let's start by just the same principle that we used, but now we'll be using the get method, the jQuery Ajax get method. And this is going to be the URL. Okay, I'll copy this, paste here. The same functionality, that's the data, and then the callback function, which will carry the name of response, and the status. Now let us start. Now when we will use the same principle that I just told you yesterday, the ID. Now we'll take this value, okay, that the user entered here, var store ID, then sorry about that, now the keyboard is acting funnily, dot val. So we'll get the value of that element dot that number element, and then with this we'll use now to query our database. So in this double brackets, let me put it down so that it can be clear. and then this function. Now we go to the data, get this post ID, and then come and then we say this post ID will correspond to this store ID, and we are done. Now it's now time to get the response. Now I will style my response for a while, so bear witness with me. I'll create a variable here, store string, and then I'll initiate it to an empty string, and then I'll do store string. It's then I'll create then I create a div paragraph tag of class P Y 4 P4 P2 and then my 3. Okay, let's return that paragraph tag that I'm feeling quite sleepy, so please bear witness with me about that. So we will store this data in a. Now before we do that, let's create a for each function dot each, then surely have two parameters, the data, the response, and then the function, and I then clean data. This is just giving it on, so don't worry about that. So we will do this here. Then we will create a span. Okay, we can only get for today. Let me just get the body of that element, the data itself. I'm going to avoid. So we'll exit the brackets. Okay, by doing that, and clean data dot something, then plus, then we clean okay, we'll just get that. Now let's get the attribute. Attribute can be the dot. Okay, paste here, and then after we have looped, so we can do image get element by ID, and the ID is target div. So this data is target div, I have used this near every occasion, so I think this leave it could actually close. Without complain. So let's start. 2-bit rocks 4,000. It's an error somewhere. No. Let me see, there's an error somewhere. Yeah, I've confused somewhere. Where now? Oh yeah, I've not converted this data into JSON format. So var JSON data equals to JSON dot pass, and then respond data. So yeah, okay, sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Okay, now, yeah, I think it should work now. Zero, 1. Now click. That is it uploaded from the database. That if this index I deleted the data, so it should not work. The data not found. 4004. Now if we put something that is not numerical, data not found. Simple. Data not found. Yeah, it's simple. Data not found. Now if you put the correct value, 4. That's it. It's working. So in that way we have covered the JQuery get method. I will explain the code one more time. So what happens? Get data, and then for each I will explain the each loop. What happens is that we now get this data using the item. When you click this button, the submit button, first of all we have told the form that its normal way of submitting data, we have revoked that ability by returning here, so it will not redirect. Now when you click this button, we have said that we'll get the value on here. Oh, one more thing. I should also, when we have done, we should also need to an empty string. So that if we click fresh for the 3, yeah, you can see now it's removing 3, removing now. Okay, yes, basically that's the way we're doing. Now it sends the get method into this URL. Okay, let's explain this URL. The get method is this. The get, if the get method has, we have declared a variable that if this get method has been set, then with the attribute of post ID, then we'll assign this variable, the value that is contained in this get method with this attribute of point ID. Then we clean the data. Then we will create this rules for querying the database here. Then we query the database and close the connection. Convert the output from the query into an associative array. You can see this is basically associative array. And then we check is the array of length more than 0. If it does, then we echo the Johnson data. But if it's not, we assign this variable. We output this statement of data not found. It's a basic JSON file, so JSON data. So we'll look at that in the next tutorial. Now, what happens is that when you click submit, it sends a GET request to this URL with this post ID property, as you can see here, property. And then the response is converted to JSON data, and then we clear the value in the font, in the input, and then we loop through the response, and so that we may assign it and style, and then we assign the variable, the data to this target element, which you can see out there now. Thank you. That's all. May God bless you.